Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 11 of the Behind the Medal podcast.
With me, Gary Damer.
And me, Dean Smith. Hold tight for a very short little warning about some naughty words.
Warning! Warning! This episode contains swearing. So, if you don't like words any stronger than
Spanner!
or
Ragamuffin!
then maybe this podcast isn't for you.
Dean?
Gary. Gary and Dean, chatting along in a new podcast. Gary and Dean, and Gary's got hairy hands.
We run around and see the world. Triathlon tales, Dean's hair is curled. We talk some shit and play some games.
For legal reasons, some names are changed. Oh, sorry. Gary and Dean, chatting along on a new podcast.
Gary and Dean, you won't get this time back.
Okay, it is 7:30 in the morning on Friday the 26th of April, and Gary's just got to my house and we're waiting for the Uber. But what are we off to do, Gary?
We're off to Madrid. We're on our holidays.
Holidays. How do you spend your holidays, Gary?
Running 26.2 miles around places that don't speak much English.
So they can't understand your swearing.
Yeah, it's early, isn't it, this?
It is, but we had to move flights because they moved the marathon time. But it's good, we'll get there and we'll get a lot of days afterwards to enjoy Madrid.
Yeah, it feels like a bonus day now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, but we gotta get past this race first, man.
Yeah, so I think I was thinking about it on the way here because I think I've only done about 2 or 3 long runs. I think I did one with you.
Yeah.
I did one with my mate Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe one little other one on my own. But the rest have been sort of shortish and quick. So I'm just hoping that I've done enough distance in my legs to get me round it. Because it's now the marathon's obviously tomorrow. It gets to that point where you start doubting everything you've done and thinking, oh, have I done enough? Will I get around it? Am I going to die?
Yeah.
Checking my travel insurance.
What's the excess on getting coffin flown back? Yeah. Was the longest you did with me then the 20?
20, yeah. And then
I didn't go above the 20 either.
No, I didn't.
Sometimes I do 22, but I didn't this time.
I don't think I've ever not done above 20 before. Gosh. But this is marathon number 8, so I sort of know what's coming up, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think it's normal to start doubting yourself, even at this stage. You know, we've done quite a few. My training could have been a lot better, but I'm busy, and there's excuses for everything. It'll all come down to the run tomorrow.
It's funny, isn't it, when you talk to people, they always say that the same stock answer, don't they? I don't think I've done enough training. I don't think I've done enough. So I think that's just part of the course, isn't it? I think
so, yeah. But I'm looking forward to it still.
It's going to be amazing. There's 3 of us, me, you, and Danny.
He's already there. He's been there for a few hours because he got a very early flight.
Yeah, from Liverpool, didn't he? So he's checking in for us in the Airbnb. We're all running the marathon. It's going to be a good weekend, I think.
I'm really looking forward to it. The Uber, I think, is just about to arrive. Just got a notification on the phone, so we will catch up with you when we're there, I guess.
Oh God!
Here we go.
Okay, we're here in Madrid.
Yeah, it says where we are on the phone. Mercado de San Miguel.
And it's amazing, by the way. It's a little market with loads of cool food and drink bits.
Yeah, when you say market, I imagine like Harper Haymarket in Manchester.
Berry's world famous market.
Yeah, I bet no one here's heard of Berry's world famous market.
I've thought.
Amazing.
It's really good though. It's Friday evening. We've got the marathon tomorrow morning, and then we're going to come back here and do this properly by eating our weight in meat and drinking our weight in cerveza.
Yeah, a couple of wines.
But it's beautiful. It is a beautiful part of the world. It's going to be very warm tomorrow though.
Yeah.
So we've just taken on a load of pasta.
Loads of water,
some salt to help with the muscles. And an early night tonight for the marathon tomorrow. Okay, Gary, describe the scene for me, please. Where are we? What are we up to?
Oh, this is it. We're just outside the bag drop. We've got about an hour to go till the start of the race. We're going to drop our bags off shortly and just soak up the atmosphere. What time is it? About 8:30?
8:15, so we're starting in an hour.
Yeah.
It's a bigger field than I thought it'd be. What's there going to be? A good few thousand heads here.
Big, isn't it? Yeah. It's like the corrals where you start, where each wave starts. It's quite a long old stretch, isn't it?
It is, certainly is. Seems to be a big international community of runners as well. Like everyone on their bib numbers has a little flag, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Spotted an Irishman just now,
Big
Kevin. Shout out to Kev, who's doing the 10k. There's a 10k starting now, I think, and then there's a half marathon, and then there's us doing 42 kilometres.
It feels like a long way. I'm not going to lie to you, Dean. Today, I don't know I think I'm just at that level where I'm sort of doubting everything and feel like my legs are heavy and I'd worry.
We were just saying, laid in bed last night, I didn't get much sleep at all, and I kept on just getting little pains. I think that's typical of a night before a marathon, isn't it?
Yeah, phantom pains. It's weird because on the way down here, I've suddenly felt like I couldn't walk. I've forgotten how to walk, never mind run.
One foot in front of the other.
And our mate Danny, Danny's telling, hello Danny.
Hi Danny.
He's running with us as well. He was going like, you shouldn't be nervous, you've run however many before, but I don't think it matters.
It don't matter, no.
Still a sound.
Each race is different.
Yeah.
Madrid apparently is quite hilly, we're going to experience that in a minute, and it's going to get up to sort of 17, 18 degrees, or so the app says.
Not as hot as what we thought, so that's good news.
But it wasn't supposed to be 27 in Chicago and it ended up, so we'll see what happens.
I'm still covered in factor 50, don't worry about that.
Rated yogurt. But yeah, we're going to go and drop bags off now. We're going to try and do some recording on the route, not together because we run our own race, but otherwise we'll catch up with you on the finish line. Let's hope that Gary's guts are intact.
Yeah, we might do some live recording of me puking.
Bye! Bye! We are in the corral. Getting ready to go.
¿Estáis ahí? ¿Sabéis cantar ópera?
Getting vamped up. Scaramouche, Scaramouche. Very excited right now. Galileo, Figaro, Magnifico! Bonjour. Fuck's sake, I just absolutely smashed my knee off this sort of tall blue curb thing. I think it's the divider between the road and the cycle path or something. I just didn't see it. That is going to take an awful lot out of me. Still got probably an hour and a half, hour 45 maybe to go. A lot of pain now. But legs, hearts and minds. Legs have gone. Not voluntarily, unfortunately. Just because it's my own fault completely. I was trying to find some strength, head down. Didn't see it, smash. But it's all about hearts and minds now. It's not going to beat me, I'll get through it. But it's not going to be with any aplomb. It's going to be very much a whimpered finish. But that's alright, it's no heroes here. No heroes.
Hola. 17.2 miles in. So it's about 9 and a bit to go, which feels good, single figures. I've lost Dean. I'm not sure at this point if he's in front or behind, but I'm feeling alright. A couple of little niggles in the right knee, which I'm just trying to ignore. We're in like a bit of a long, straight, quiet, lonely bit where the sun's getting quite hot, but I'm feeling alright. Madrid is beautiful. Lots of heavy breathing for you all to listen to. Covered in factor 50, which seems to be running into me mince pies now. But I'm going good guns. There is a pub. I'm envisioning myself in there in about 2-3 hours with a beer in hand. Hola! Speaking the lingo, picked up a few words. Hola and gracias. Not many Brits knocking about. Sometimes need that bit to spur me on, but I think I look like a local with my pale skin. Anyway, enough ramblings of a tired man. We'll see you after.
ladies and gentlemen, I'm 4 kilometres from the final, the finished post there, and I'm in fucking agony here. I'm barely moving as I'm trying to compensate for the pain in my right. My left is cramping. Stop to stretch it, but then as I stop, getting going again is almost impossible. It's just fucking, oh man, I paid to do this as well. Head the ball, Dino. All about focus now. Just one foot in front of the other. Just keep going. Oh my god. 20 miles in. Well, 20.4. So, just a little bit less than 6 to go. Oh, it's warm though. Finished. I'm not sure what time it was. I think it was just over 4. Oh, I'm crying my eyes out. I don't know why. Oh, that was good. Ah, bloody hell.
Okay, well, we're back at Airbnb, having successfully completed the Madrid Marathon.
Yeah, shake my hand, dude.
Bless your soul, sir.
We won. All 3 of us did it.
Oh, God.
Tough.
Yeah.
I didn't want to let the listeners down, so I've puked up quite a bit.
Yeah, bless your soul. How are you feeling now?
I'm gonna have a nap. I'm gonna have a little disco nap.
Yeah, I think we all need one.
And then we're gonna hit the after party. But we finished it. 4 hours 1 minute. I'm happy with that, but I'm gutted that it's not under that 4 hour target that I keep trying to get. But
Well, that's a PB though, isn't it?
PB. So yeah, fuck off, Madrid. Fuck you.
Well, and also, I mean, we'll come to discuss this in a bit more depth, I assume, when we come to record properly. But the hills and the heat, and it was so busy, man.
Yeah, it was a tough one. It was
That's not an easy one at all. I don't think that.
I didn't expect hills until we rocked up and everyone was sort of started talking about them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've done it.
We've done it. Skin of my teeth. I had an altercation with an immovable object and limped home. Oh, so much pain, but this became a different thing for me today. It became a different battle. Usually it's like, I'm trying to race against times or trying to overtake people. But this was just purely, just got to get through this. I'm a stubborn fucking Yorkshireman. I was always going to finish, but it might have taken me longer than it needed to. But yeah, I got 4 hours 28, and the last 2 of those were so painful. So painful.
It was a tough run.
It was a tough run, and you've nailed it, man. 4 hours 1 minute.
Yeah. And we should mention Tennant as well.
Yeah, he's in the shower. He's in the shower somewhere, soaking his aching bones.
Something like that, anyway.
Something like that. But what a fabulous achievement again, man. Pats on the back all around, I think.
Yeah. Let's go out with our medals on and get some paella and wine.
Absolutely. Never was anything more deserved.
Hello, welcome to CompareAHaircut.com. We are the one-stop shop for haircut insurance. Had your haircut by Audrey Roberts? No problem. Edward Scissorhands? No problem. Stevie Wonder? No problem. You're still covered with CompareAHaircut.com. We are Slovakia's premium website for haircut insurance. And if you buy with us today, we offer 2 for 1 on doorbells. Courtesy of highendbellends.co.uk. CompareAHaircut.com. Simple. Fucking hell. And here we are, we're back in the country.
We are back.
Oh, I'm sat here in my Madrid top.
I know, yeah, you run a marathon recently,
Yeah,
you.
can't let go. I think first of all, I'll just drop my pen there. But first of all, we should apologise at our tardiness.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, just because we got back and then got straight back into it, didn't we? We were pretty busy.
Yeah.
We just didn't have time to do our post-marathon debrief.
Yeah, and I think sometimes a little bit of distance from something isn't a bad thing. It's nice to come away and just sort of relax into the holiday blues.
Yeah, oh, and did we have
Holiday
blues?
blues.
Jesus Christ. I think that's the worst one I've had, you know.
Big come down. Yeah, absolutely. We had such a good laugh afterwards.
Yeah.
After the marathon was obviously great, regardless of pains we were in. But Madrid's a fabulous place, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But yeah, man, I had a struggle
Yeah.
a few days afterwards.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
so did I. I was very low.
Quick, let's book another one. Quick, let's go somewhere.
I think normally, we normally drink after a marathon. We have a bit of a pie, but
Yeah.
that felt like on another level. We did a lot of boozing.
Yeah, but I don't know. Did we have longer after? Because normally it's on a Sunday, so and it moved a day. I don't know. I'm trying to give an excuse here as to why we felt shit.
Know. We boozed a lot and had a lovely time. I think that's understandable to have blues.
I think just the lovely time really was had, and then when we came back, it's all over, and something you've trained for a good while for.
That's it. You know, it's not like a holiday, is it? Because you've built yourself up for 5 or 6 months for this one thing, and then when it's over, you're like, oh.
What's done now? Yeah.
Yeah. What now?
Yeah, you lose that sense of purpose,
Yeah.
or certainly that area of your life where you were training, trying to stay fit. It just goes.
Because I go the other way now. I go, right, well, I'm going to have 6 donuts tonight because I've not got anything coming up.
As opposed to 5.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed hearing from us. We apologise that the sound quality wasn't quite as good as you've come to expect from Behind the Medal, but we were just recording straight into our phones. But that's a little flavour. You got a little flavour there of not only sort of the bag drop or at the corral where we were waiting to start, but also on the race as well.
Yeah, I think what came across with those couple of voice notes is the sort of range of emotion.
My God.
Like giddy on the Friday before in that market, giddy on the bag drop.
Yeah.
Cut to Dean's head falling off.
My God.
Cut to me crying my eyes out. It's
but your head falling off in a nice way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Mine falling off going, oh God, I've got an hour and 45 minutes of just agony to shuffle through. And yours going, I did a thing. I loved it. It was great.
The whole range of emotions that you go through. But yeah, I think, should we do a debrief?
I think we should.
Let's go. What? Go on then.
Go on then, start. Go on then, ask me a question, TV's Gary Damer.
Okay. We landed on Friday.
We did.
And we went to the expo.
Yeah, we did, which was out in the sticks, really, wasn't it? It's not.
Bloody hell,
Usually they're quite close to start lines or finish lines or in the city centre, but it was at some random warehouse miles away.
Yeah, and we got to the warehouse, but even then you had to walk another 10, 15 minutes to get into the expo. That was a big old place. It was a quiet expo, I thought. Normally they're sort of loud and jumping and lots of atmosphere, but it felt quite subdued.
It might have been the location. It was an aircraft hangar of sorts, wasn't it? So it didn't really soak up. But also, I think we were in a bit of a rush because we wanted to go meet Danny because he'd already checked in, he'd been through.
I guess.
So I think we weren't soaking it up as much as possible.
Yeah, I guess. But even like in terms of like, I thought they normally have like music on or DJs or whatever, but it just felt a bit.
Well, I think they had a bit of that.
Did they?
A little bit. But we were shuffling through.
I was very hungry as well, actually. I've just remembered.
Yeah, well, after a long flight, it was one stop on the metro, the Madrid Underground, from the airport to the expo. So we just dived straight off there. Yeah. So we'd been travelling. We had the travel stank all over us. Yeah. We were probably nervous for you could hear it when we were waiting for the Uber on the clip a few minutes ago on this podcast, where we were clearly quite nervous about getting to the airport and starting this journey. Yeah. So maybe we were probably just a bit distracted.
Yeah.
It's impossible to enjoy life at 10 all the time, Gary.
I know, but I feel disappointed when I'm not.
Yeah. Speaking of the expo, though, Danny Tennant bought a vest, and he wore it, didn't he? Do you remember him telling us about this?
Yeah, he bought the Madrid t-shirt. Oh, did
Yeah, he bought a vest because on the last episode of the podcast we were talking about who are these people buying clothes at an expo? Danny Tennant.
Oh, I didn't. And did he run in it?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he ran in his finisher shirt.
No, he ran in a vest.
Oh wow,
Mr. Observant sat opposite me here. Yeah, he ran in
shit.
a vest.
There was no complaints from his nipples, was there? I don't remember him moaning about them.
No. So maybe we're talking a lot of shit.
What do we know, mate?
Well, I've never thought we knew anything really. Well, though we did stand at the bag drop, which you heard us talking at a few minutes ago again on the podcast before, and we were lubing right up, weren't we?
Yeah.
With the glide, we had the glide.
Lots of sun cream.
Mm-hmm.
I like that bit as well because it's always good spotting other local runners.
Yeah.
Like you can tell from the t-shirts. We saw a guy from the the name's just, is it Terence Shaw?
Terence Higgins.
Terence Higgins, yeah.
Yeah.
We spotted a guy from him, so we knew he was a British fella, and
Yeah.
he was sort of filling us in a bit about the course. You remember, because he lived in Madrid for a couple of years.
He freaked me out a little bit.
Well, he was the one who sort of made me aware that those hills. So I was like, shit.
Well, because I remember him saying 35k, you get to the bit, and he said, I'm not sure how dusty the road is going to be. And I went, what the hell is he talking about? And then when we got to that point, I was going, oh my God, this is exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself. So after the giddiness of the expo, after the giddiness of us sitting around in the Plaza Mejor, which is a beautiful part of the little square in Madrid.
Yeah.
And then we got some sleep, not much, but we got some kip, and we started. We ran together for about 11 miles, which I think is the furthest we've ever run together on a marathon before.
Yeah, I think it is. I think you're right.
I don't know why that was.
Well, it was very busy, wasn't it? I think
Yeah.
it'd have been a struggle because there was like 30,000 runners doing it.
Which surprised me that. I didn't think it was going to be that big.
Yeah, it was busy, wasn't it? But there was a point in it where I needed to sort of rejig my shoelaces. I felt my shoelaces were a bit too tight.
Yeah.
So this must have been only about 4 or 5 miles in.
Yeah, it wasn't far. We were still on that first straight.
So I pulled over, and obviously you carried on, and I thought that'd be it. I thought I wouldn't see you again. You'd power on, but then I caught up with you a bit further on. But it was nice how I enjoyed it.
I really liked it.
being
Yeah.
with you.
There was a point because there was a 10k, a half marathon, and a full marathon last Saturday, and the half marathon and the marathon set off at the same time.
Yeah.
And so at a point which was in the end about 11 and a half miles in, there was loads of marshals and there was signs all over the place saying half marathon peeled left and the full marathon peeled right. We were together at that point because we were giving loads of love to the half marathoners.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Arrivederci.
Yeah.
They were giving us loads of love back, and we got loads of energy. And I think that's where, because you have spoken about this podcast about how much you thrive off that human interaction. I think you went, we just had a nice experience, and you just peeled off. I couldn't see you for dust. You'd gone.
That was my moment where I left you.
Yeah.
Because I got it was such a little moment as well, but I got such a buzz, such a lift off everyone waving.
Yeah.
It was like, it reminded me, do you know when you're on a ghost train? Bear with me.
All right.
This is going somewhere.
Look, you know.
You know when you're on a ghost train?
Sure.
It took me back to when I was a kid, and you sort of sat in a queue if there's a couple of ghost cars in front of you.
Yeah.
And yours is just about to go through the doors, and your mum and dad wave to you. You know, from the viewing area. That's what it reminded me of. Like that adrenaline rush of going, oh God, this is it. And then you go through the doors. And that was me. Does that make any sense?
That's amazing. That's one of the most profound things I think you've ever said. You've delved back into your childhood.
It just gave me that feeling straight away.
I love how you've been able to connect those dots from that feeling to this feeling as well. That's brilliant.
Yeah, and that was it. It gave me such a boost, such an adrenaline rush, and I was off.
Well, when we did the 20 miler, there was a point where you got loads of energy as well. And it was because Depeche Mode had come through your headphones on the run.
Yeah.
And so it was like you'd gone Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
Mode Depeche.
Yeah, that's what we kept saying, wasn't it?
When you
mode
got
are you in?
energy.
Depeche.
And so, so you left me for dead a little bit just before the half marathon point, I think it was.
Yeah.
Well, how was the rest of it, man? I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was good, man. I had a really good race. I had a really good run. There was a couple of sort of long, quiet, lonely stretches in it.
Yeah.
The one your man, the Terence Higgins, just was telling us about at the start. That was about it was sort of like round a park, wasn't it? Round a theme park, because I remember hearing the screams from roller coasters and stuff.
That was just people running away from you.
But that was the bit where I sort of started to wobble a little bit because it was long.
Yeah, and
and
dusty.
Dusty and but there wasn't much cover, like you said. So it got really hot. But I think that was probably like the lowest point for me, I think.
Nice.
There was a little bit further on, maybe about 22, 23 miles in. and I walked for about 5 seconds,
Right.
and there was a spectator on the side, and he sort of leaned into me, clapped his hand, and it felt like he looked right into my soul, and he's like, venga, 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 which I think meant go, 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 go.
Go.
And I was thinking, yeah, you know what, he's fucking right. So, yeah, I just got on my toes again, and that was the only point where I stopped running, really.
He looked into your soul, and you flash back to your childhood, and you're on the ghost train.
Yeah.
And it's the guy that presses the button to start it, and you thought, I've got to go now.
In Blackpool.
That's nice, though. That's nice. And you finished. Was there a point where you thought sub 4?
Yeah, there was, and then what happened is, I don't know if we've talked about this. When the marathon, you get the blue line, which is the official 26.2 miles to follow. So the elite athletes, they'll run on the blue line.
Mm-hmm.
But because there were so many runners, you physically can't run on the blue line yourself as an amateur. So when you're taking corners and stuff, you're taking the corner wide and things like that, and overtaking people and all that
zigzagging
business.
towards the water, away from the
exactly all that. So my watch ticked over. Said it had done a marathon in 3 hours 56, about half a mile before the finish line.
So frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, so I knew at that, it was probably a bit more than that actually, but I knew at that point that I wasn't going to get an official sub 4.
Just to clarify for anyone listening going, what he means there is his GPS watch that was tracking him on the run. He's pressed start as you crossed the start line.
Yeah.
And because of all the zigzagging and because he wasn't exactly on the marathon course, obviously you're in the road, so you're on the marathon course, but you're not exactly on this blue line. It's actually a green line, wasn't it, over there?
Green line, actually.
But because he wasn't exactly on there, his watch ticked over to a marathon distance, 26.2, before he crossed the finish. That's what that sort of little table means.
What a spiel of words that came out of the
Well, no,
mouth.
because I understood perfectly what he meant, but people who have never run a marathon before were going, what?
Yeah.
He did a marathon and then some more for shits and gigs?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's very frustrating, man.
Yeah, because I think when I crossed the finish line, my watch was on like 26.8.
Yeah,
so it was quite a lot, quite a bit more.
Yeah, well, 0.6 more. I'd say that's tough. That's really tough. But we heard on the end of one of those voice clips there, it got quite emotional at the end for you there.
Yeah, I mean, I normally always get emotional because it just the relief and the sense of achievement and everything that you've been through building up to that.
Yeah.
I do normally get emotional, but this was something I've not had before. I just couldn't stop crying.
Yeah.
I just couldn't stop. And so I was sat for a few minutes on my own at the side of the road, and then I saw Danny Tennant, and he started to hug me, and then I just burst out crying again.
Yeah.
And he, bless him, he just said, "I'm just going to sort of leave you alone."
Well, he said to me afterwards, he said, I don't know whether to interrupt his moment or not.
Yeah, it was really because I just couldn't stop. So I spoke to my family and did all that business and let them know I was alive and that. But yeah, it was good emotion though. It wasn't like sad emotion. It was just, it was.
I think sometimes tears are a part of that just sort of release, isn't it? Like you did it, you finished it.
Yeah.
You can stop pushing now. You can. It's almost down tools. Do you know what I mean? And I think that can sometimes. I always cry at the end of marathons. Always.
Yeah.
You're out there for 4 hours.
I've never had it uncontrollably like that before though.
Yeah.
It was a strange one, but it was.
You started screaming "Ghost Train" as well. I don't.
That might be what it is. That throughout the run, I've regressed like big.
You but the other way.
Yeah.
Right.
And then after that, true to form.
Yeah.
Puked.
Well, because I'll speak about this in a second, but I finished quite a long time after you guys. But when I got there, you looked hot and sweaty and like you'd run a marathon, but you weren't. I didn't think you looked like you were going to throw up.
No.
And then as we started walking, you downed a Capri Sun that was inside the marathon finisher's bag, and you threw it up almost intact.
I didn't down it.
Oh, did you not?
No, because I knew I had that sort of furry, fuzzy mouth where I thought I was going to be sick. So I thought, because again, I don't know what it is that makes me sick, so I thought maybe it's sugar. Yeah. So I only had a few small mouthfuls of that Capri Sun, thinking that'll just bring me sugar back up. But no, as soon as that couple of mouthfuls went in, that just sort of opened the floodgates. So I threw a lot up.
Yeah, because we had a piece of chewing gum. and then we were walking to go back to the metro.
I forgot about that.
And I just heard you coughing and spluttering, and this fucking piece of chewing gum came whizzing past my head. I was like, "Oh, Ras, he's in a bad place here." And then yeah, you started getting quite ill. But yeah, that was. They had more, not to get quite graphic, but a lot of the time when I've seen you been sick after marathons or triathlons or whatever, it's always been very clear. Yeah. Whereas this seemed to have a lot of substance to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Was that just what you were getting rid of on the course? Like, is that stuff you were drinking on the course?
I had more like Powerades on the course this time.
Yeah, because of the heat.
Yeah, than just water. So I guess maybe it was a bit of that. And
yeah,
but yeah, it seemed to sort of take a while to come on, the sickness, and then after I was sick, it just sort of went away quite quickly. Whereas normally, in the past, it's been a good couple of hours where I can even walk and move again.
Yeah.
So
strange.
Getting better.
Getting better. PBs are getting better. Your race time's getting better, and your throwing up is shortening somewhat.
Yeah, improving. So that's the bodily functions ticked.
Yeah, tick.
Dino, tell me about yours.
Well, yeah, you had found this energy right about mile 12, and I stayed with you for a little bit, but I thought if I stay at this level, I'm going to run out of steam too quick. I made a prediction before that you would finish before me, which is the first time that's ever happened on a marathon we've done together. But you just seemed so much fitter than me. So I thought, right, I'm not going to try and stay with you because that'll just burn me out and I'll have a really shit end, which I ended up doing anyway. But so I thought I'll let you go, and I just enjoyed the course. I enjoyed my just time running around Madrid, and then I got to about 15 miles, and Danny Tennant came bursting past me, and it looked like he dropped a fucking E or something like that, because honestly, it looked like he just started.
The jury's out on that one, to be fair.
Yeah. He bounded past me. He was running backwards. Dino, I hate it.
No way.
Oh, mate, he was in great shape.
What a twat.
Yeah, I was so jealous because I was doing all right. I was feeling pretty good, but I wasn't going to stay with him. But I was just plodding along thinking, how's he got all this energy? I was still on for about a 3:50 maybe at that point, as we were going. And yeah, he bounced past. And he said to me, he don't look at his watch when he's running, the daft bastard. And he went, yeah, Dean, what mile are we on? And I went, just coming up to 16. And he went, fuck. I think he thought he was just around the corner from the finish.
Bless his little lad.
He's got a GPS watch on his fucking wrist.
Well, I've been out with him, and like my watch will tick over, and I was just about to say it, and he'll be like, no, I don't want to know.
I wonder why that is.
Don't know. I think.
Well, because I was going to say this as well. I saw about 3 distance markers on this race. They were hidden.
Yeah. They were just small and like not very brightly coloured.
Yeah.
Or...
And they were in kilometres as well, which always throws me slightly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he bound past me at about mile 15. And then it wasn't long after that. You can hear me talk about it on those clips there. There's like, in Madrid, quite wide streets going through the centre. And then at the very extremes, there's 2 cycle paths. They have these blue dividers that sometimes are preceded with a little bollard, sometimes aren't, and it's just to separate the 2 things. We saw a guy hit the deck, do you remember, around about mile 4, me and you?
No.
Well, no, he didn't hit the deck, he saved it, do you remember? And you were like, better saves than David De Gea.
Yeah.
Smallmouth. And so I'd been pre-warned, but I get mile, I think it was 16 or 15 and a half, 16. And I was quite tired at this point. I knew my second win was imminent, and I was coming up this hill, and this guy in front of me darted out of the way of something, and I thought he'd seen someone he knew opposite the street or whatever. So I had a little look up to him and then smashed into this thing.
Shit.
And pain wasn't straight away, but then after a little while of the impact on it, my right knee was just in bits. I was like, oh, fuck's sake. It wasn't the fact that I'd picked up a little knock. It was that I just knew how far there was to fucking go.
Yeah. Because it would have hurt if you'd have done that on a normal day.
Yeah.
But it's going to hurt twice as much when you do that and then you run in 30 miles or whatever after that.
Yeah. And well, because if we'd have done that on a training race, I'd have gone, this ain't good, I'll see you at home. Yeah. And I'd have gone home, but I'm too stubborn, mate.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to get through this, but I just was aware of how much pain I was going to be in. And then because I was running to compensate for the pain in my right knee, my left-hand side started cramping up like a fucker. It was just horrible, mate.
Tough day.
Yeah, tough day, really tough day at the office. We've spoken before about how you can do all the training you want in the world, but if you just have a bad race day, if you have an accident or if the conditions are against you, it can affect you so much. And it added so much time on, as you would expect, limping. I didn't walk at any point. I would pull over and try and stretch my muscles that were cramping. But then when I started running again, you couldn't really notice that I was running. Proper shuffle.
Was it a marathon shuffle?
Was it? I tried to film a bit on my phone, and it just looked ridiculous. So I quickly deleted it. But it was really, it was tough. That was the most mental race that I'd had. As in, like, that's the race why I had to rely on mental strength above physical strength. And actually, with a bit of distance behind it now, I mean, it was a week or so ago now, and I look back on it and I feel very proud of myself.
Yeah. Because
it would have been so easy to go, oh, this has happened, I'm stopping. Never crossed my mind. Genuinely never crossed my mind.
Well, that's the bonus of having that mental race, innit? Because I've had a couple of them now, but I think the end result is almost better than if you had a good race, I think, because you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I've just done that while this has happened or whatever.
In spite of that,
yeah. And I think that sort of that realisation of the mental strength you've got is a good feeling.
People achieving things they didn't think they could do.
Yeah, that's it, innit?
Throwback to Scotty C there. But yeah, it was a mad one, and I relied a lot in the really dark moments there where I was just in bits, and I was just so acutely aware that not only was the distance quite long, but at the speed I was running, I was going, I've got another hour and a half of this. And that's difficult to get your head around. But so what I did was something I've never done on a marathon before, is I dived onto WhatsApp, and Caroline and Dan on the group that we're in were going, oh, Dean's fallen off the pace, I think he might have got injured, and they were saying, oh, Tennant's overtaken Dean, he's getting so close to Gary. And so I just lived your race and Tennant's race through those updates and through a few messages back into that. Just to, and we've spoken about this before, taking myself out of the pain. Yeah. Just going, oh, these guys are doing really well. Kept refreshing the app to see if you got sub 4 so that I could have this elation moment. Yeah. You fucking let me down.
Yeah, no, sorry about that. I like a little delve into WhatsApp, me. I do it quite a bit.
Yeah, I've never done it before in a race.
Yeah, because I need, I'd say this every time, I need that little boost, me. Yeah. So be it from a pal or a family or whatever. And as you say, Dean and Caroline were following us and tracking us and sending us messages, and that's also because, as I say, I didn't know if you were in front of me or behind me at that point, and it wasn't until I'd gone into the group to see that you'd fell over and had a nightmare. But I was sending you a lot of love as well. Come on, Dino. We'll make it worth your while at the end later on tonight.
Absolutely. And yeah, cross the finish line, floods of tears as always with me. Very emotional thing. And I didn't know where you guys would be because I was 25 minutes after you guys. So I thought, I don't know where these guys might have gone back to the bag drop or whatever. But I got my medal, got my bag, and I came forward and I could see Tennant's tiny head.
Thinking, how far away is his head?
I must have been fucking close to him to have seen it. For anyone who doesn't know, we rinse our good friend Danny Tennant for having a very small head. He doesn't really, but it's just something that has stuck. Yeah. We'll put a picture out and you can make your fucking own minds up if he has the...
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Beetlejuice. If he has the head of a king prawn on a man's shoulders. But I saw Tennant and I was like, where the fuck's Gary? What's Gary up to? And then, bless him, true to form, tucked behind a bin, doing a lot of heavy breathing was Gary.
A lot of heavy breathing, a lot of spitting.
Yeah. But again... just to be in Madrid, however many 100 miles away from home, with two of my very good pals, to have achieved what we did that morning and then to be reunited with you guys, such an elation. It's such a lovely thing.
Isn't it?
Regardless that I was in bits, you were in different bits, Tennant's E was wearing off or whatever the fuck he'd done. He didn't do drugs on the course, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just purely saying stupid things. But he was doing his own. He was running his own battle. And regardless that we were all in these different mindsets and that we'd had a completely different morning to each other, to be reunited and be like, oh, hi guys.
Yeah.
Lovely thing.
Amazing, mate. What a thing. We've said this over and over again, but what an amazing thing.
It's so good to then be faced with, we're having after party now. We're going to have 3 days in a city that we had fallen in love with.
Yeah. Truly fallen in love with. What an amazing place.
My God.
And also, it's such a good, I think it's such a good way to get chatting to people as well, because we went out that night and we wore our medals, didn't we? And you can just have a chat about it, and doesn't matter that we're walking like idiots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Growing our heads off going downstairs, and that it's a good way to do it. I think I'm a big fan.
I completely agree. Someone at work the other day said, "Oh, why didn't you just go to Madrid for a holiday?" It's like, well, we did, but we also achieved a thing.
Yeah,
and we earned our pizza, and we had a lovely time. The three of us shared a mutual experience of doing a thing.
yeah. With that in mind, that sort of mentality, because we met Myrna and Serena.
Yes.
In the market. Was this the day after the marathon?
A couple of days after, I think. Yeah.
So I recognise them because we were stood behind them in the Manchester airport, and then we saw them again in this market, as I say, and we called them over and we had a chat with them. And I'm going to hold my hands up here. I was being a little bit snobby.
I was doing the same
before I got chatting to them, because they did the 10k, and at first I had the attitude of going, fucking hell, like, why go all that way just to do a 10k? But they've just, because I told them that, was chatting with them about it, and their answer was exactly the same as what you've just done.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not go run round a city?
It's a watertight argument, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why not?
As soon as he said it, I was like, yeah, fair play.
Yeah, because I think we were wandering around the city. All of the finishers' T-shirts were different colours depending on what race you'd done. The 10k was a blue T-shirt, the half marathon was a yellow T-shirt, and Gary sat in front of me in a nice pinky red colour. And so every time we would see a marathon T-shirt, we'd be like, "Hey." Every time we'd see a half marathon, we'd be like, "Oh yeah." Every time we'd see a 10k, we're like, "Fuck, Ras, what was your other leg doing?"
I know, it's so bad of us, that, isn't it?
It's bad of us, and I tell you for why it's bad of us. Because what we talk about on this podcast is about inclusivity, getting out and doing a thing.
I know.
And we forgot ourselves for those moments.
Yeah.
I think it was wrapped up in a pride that we'd done a thing.
Yeah.
But when we spoke to Myrna and Serena, we literally went, what have we been thinking these last few days?
They were ace, them as well.
They were brilliant.
Good fun.
Couple of Manchester ladies halfway around the world talking shit to us guys in a market.
We stood in the corner of this market for about 3 hours, wasn't it?
We did.
Drinking lots of red wine, just talking absolute broken biscuits.
It was great, and they'd come over and had a wonderful trip. And I think Myrna's booked another one in Vienna. I know she listens to this podcast, so hello.
Hello.
Hi. And so it was exactly the same mindset as us. And doesn't need any more. Doesn't need anything
I know,
adding to that.
It was bad of us, and as I can say, as soon as she answered it, I was like, yeah, fair point.
Yep, done.
Made my mind up. So that is a good way to do anything.
Yeah.
Go away, run whatever, and you'll have a lovely time
and explore. And we absolutely did. We found some lovely little areas of the city. The sun was beating down.
It's hot, wasn't it?
Hot.
I had a right vest tan, me. You know.
Yeah, you did.
Right where my running vest was. I was, I was sore and pink when I got back. Obviously, not enough factor 50.
Yeah, well, it must have just rubbed off on your shoulder bits.
Yeah.
From the race.
But yeah, man, we found some amazing bars and
roof terraces and amazing paella restaurants and tapas. We had some beautiful tap. Oh man, I really liked Madrid.
Yeah, I want to go back.
I do. I don't know why it's never come up before.
Well, I'm sure, and I can't remember who it was, but I told someone I was going to Madrid, and they sort of turned their nose up a little bit. And I thought, because it's a capital city, it's going to be a bit sort of trashy and a bit westernised and. Not westernised, that's not the word, is it?
It can be, as in...
like British.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like,
Americanised.
Yeah. But it really wasn't, was it? It was still really cultural and amazing buildings. And it wasn't British pubs on every corner and, you know, British blokes drinking beer in
with
vests.
Bulldog tattoos and all that.
Yeah, there was none of that.
I remember I read somewhere... doing a bit of research before we went, Lonely Planet or one of those websites, and it said that Madrid, a lot of people don't go to Madrid when they come to Europe. I'm talking about, you know, people from America or from the Far East, whatever. It's because they don't have like a photo opportunity like they do in Paris. Paris, you go, you get your photo taken with the Eiffel Tower.
Right.
Rome, you go, you get your photo taken with the Colosseum. Barcelona, you get your photo taken at the Nou Camp, which has a very big tour, or it has like Las Ramblas, which I've said horrendously badly.
Leeds, you get your photo taken
in front of that pigeon that has a walking stick.
One-leg pigeon.
Steve, we call him. But Madrid doesn't have a focal point of tourism. It doesn't have like a monument or a building that people go, oh, that's definitely Madrid. If you were to show a picture of the basilica that we walk past to anyone on the street, they probably wouldn't be like, "Oh, that's Madrid."
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason why people don't seem to go. Yeah, but I loved it.
Amazing, mate. I'm definitely going again for sure.
Yeah.
Going to all the exact same places that we went to as well.
Creatures of habit.
Well, we said that as well, didn't we? We ended up going to this Mercado thing, this market, sitting in the same seats at the same,
man.
just absolute. If it ain't broke,
Don't fix it.
yeah,
If you've had a fabulous time doing something, repeat it.
yeah. We did. We went to lots of other places as well.
Oh yeah.
But that was like our favourite one, so we always managed to find. Do you know what I loved as well? We were walking up a street, I have no idea where it was. This was very late on, after lots and lots of mojitos. And there was a busker, and we all started throwing shapes on the street and dancing. And there was a guy playing guitar and singing, and then there was a guy next to him with like maracas and lots of percussion instruments.
On the spoons.
Yeah, and he said to us, "Hey lads, where are you from?" And I said, "Oh, Manchester." And he went, "Me too, born and bred in Longsight." And I love that.
It's
I
good, isn't
love
it?
that. All, however many miles away, you know, we're pissed out of our heads dancing on the street, and there's literally Bez from the Happy Mondays.
Stood there.
Did he? Because I don't remember much. Did he live there now? Did he live in Madrid?
Yeah, he'd moved out there. He'd said, he lived in Manchester for a good while. I don't know what he was doing out in Madrid other than standing next to this busker and throwing some shapes in.
It was fucking brilliant.
It was great. We got some fabulous pictures of us.
Yeah, one of them
shapes.
of you and Tennant is like an album cover. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
your arms are swinging everywhere. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, just a fabulous trip. A little bit of karaoke happened.
Oh God. Terrible one.
Dancing in the street, drinking on rooftop terrace bars. This market's incredible.
Yeah.
When you think of market, I think we said on the voice clips, you think of Bury Market or Leeds Briggate, and it was this really swanky market where it's a lot of artisan foods and a lot of cool wines and oh my god,
food was unbelievable. And it was like my heaven. They had one stall, one like corner of the place that was just like cakes and cookies. Oh god,
it was ridiculous.
We spent a small fortune in there on that Saturday, didn't we?
We did, but then again we were on this Plaza Mayor, which is wasn't far away from our Airbnb, which was amazing as well. The location more than anything. And so it's the hub of tourism, a lot of street performance and that sort of thing on this. We literally sat in the sunshine on this in this square, and we were there for ages. We drunk a lot. We had a lot to eat. We got the bill. Mate, it was so cheap. Wasn't it like €70?
Yeah, we did all right.
Was
that the Saturday that? No, that was a Sunday.
That was a Sunday, yeah. And we couldn't spend our money quick enough. I mean, we did.
We gave it a good try.
But yeah, I mean, eating and drinking and laughing, man. We didn't stop laughing for the whole trip.
Stupid, isn't it? When you were a group of people who were just on the same stupid fucking level. Yeah. And it is stupid, isn't it? We're on our humour is so basic.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Like so childish. And it was that was all that we were doing, just trying to make each other laugh any way we could.
But we said it. We were doing a bit of patting our own backs at one point, saying that sometimes in a big group of I mean, there's only three of us, but in any group of people, you can get very much alphas who just want to be front and center all the time. And I don't think we're either three alphas or three betas or whatever, but we just took it in turns.
Yeah.
Took it in turns to come to the front and just shell each other and just have a load of gags, and then we just happily retreat and then let someone else come forward. It was just a great trip, man. A superb trip, which clearly lent into the fact that we were so blue for a few days afterwards, just pining the time that we'd had there.
Yeah, just for like a couple of days after we were obviously in our Madrid marathon chat, just sending memories and pictures. And everything reminded me of Madrid. Like I was watching, what was I watching? I remember texting you. I was watching a David Attenborough thing, and this sheep, what was it? No, this deer. This is so stupid. This deer saw a tiger or something and did like a yelp, but the yelp reminded me of you put a bottle of cold water on Tennant's back, and he made the same yelp. So I'm watching David Attenborough in my living room, hearing this deer yelp, and I was like, fucking hell, Tennant, I love him. I want to be back.
Was it the same yelp that you made when you got thrown off that ghost train when you were 5 years old? So what's your final word on the Madrid Marathon, Gary? What's the final thought process? What do you take away from it?
I take away a PB.
Yep.
First and foremost, but then just a lovely weekend with good pals.
Yep.
Booze, great memories, lots of laughs.
Yeah.
And a new tick on my life list.
Yeah. You can't ask for more than that from a weekend away, can you?
No. And it felt long, didn't it? It didn't rush by.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is good. It's not like...
I wish we'd have had a few hours in bed extra the morning we got up at 4 o'clock to go to the airport to come back. But can't have everything. So thank you for tuning in to episode 11 of the Behind the Medal podcast. I'm sorry once again that it took us so long to get this out, but I hope it was worth it. A little glimpse into what it takes to run a marathon, eh?
Yeah, good things come to those who wait and all that shit.
Absolutely. So where can you find more of us? Tell your friends, do some plugging, Gary.
Well, we're going to do a few pictures to go alongside the podcast. They'll be on the Twitter, which is @BehindTheMedal.
Yep.
And then on your podcast platform, if you could give us a like, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, give us a review and subscribe and all that business. Just makes us look popular. And again, it's boring, innit? But it just means we can keep making it if you give us a bit of feedback back.
Absolutely. I'm not entirely sure what the next episode is going to be. We've got plenty to fucking talk about.
Yeah.
But we definitely want to hear from you guys some more. We've got a few bits and bobs to talk about how... the chats with Scott Cunliffe and Danny Mills and the shit that we have to say has inspired people and what people are doing now, having listened to the podcast. But just get in touch.
Yeah.
Get in touch. Tell us what you're up to. Tell us your deepest, darkest hopes and dreams. Tell us what carnival ride as a child inspired you to run a marathon.
Listen, if any listeners went on that ghost train in Blackpool, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Big queue, waiting to go through the doors. You know what I'm talking about.
Sure they do. Okay, so it is a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.